I wanted to talk a little bit about
related, we will hear from you.
Okay, I've told everybody to.
Yeah, I tried that with my 3 kids and dog. All right, here we go.
Okay, I see you now.
Can't wait. All right, sorry about the hiccup.
No worries.
You look fantastic. Oh my gosh, look at you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Live from Southern California, it's time for another episode of Cook Live with Chrissy and Dr. Kristi. Turn on the oven, light up the stove, and get ready for another delicious recipe from our plant-based, cancer-kicking kitchen. And without further ado, here are your hosts, Dr. Christy Funk and Chrissy Ross.
Hey, everyone! Welcome. It's episode 18 of Cook Live with Chrissy and Dr. Kristi. We're streaming live to you via Zoom, YouTube, and Instagram today. And today's episode is one of my faves because it's my favorite thing to do, which is eat breakfast lunch and dinner all day. So it's themed breakfast all day. So you know it's going to be delicious. All right, and what else? If you've missed any of our past episodes or recipes, you can always find them all on our website, pinklotus.com/kitchen. And if you're cooking along with us, which I hope you are, you can also find links to today's recipes on the event webpage or under recipes in the Cancer Kicking Kitchen on our website, which is pinklotus.com/kitchen. For those of you new to our show, don't forget, use our interactive recipe checklist on the website. So you click on cook mode and that keeps your screen on the whole time you are cooking, and you can mark things off as you go, which
so
we
helpful.
Totally forget to do.
We totally forget to do it. Then we go over there and we're like,
time.
whoops, forgot the molasses.
With every Cook Live recipe, Chrissy and I make you a promise, and that is that this dish delivers. One of the many things we do here at Pink Lotus is to show you live, up close and personal, in simple, practical ways, how every single time you lift fork to mouth, food is delicious medicine. For those of you who don't know, I'm Dr. Christy Funk, double board certified breast cancer surgeon and lifestyle medicine doctor, and your health warrior at all things pinklotus.com.
I'm Chrissy Roth. I'm a physical therapist. I am a nutrition. I love nutrition. I've always been interested in all things nutrition, and I'm a foodie, a plant-based foodie. I cook a lot, and I love making different plant-based recipes.
Indeed, and we're going to see something she cooked for me for my birthday today.
Yeah, you are.
We're going to have another giveaway, as we always do, and wouldn't you know it, it's my book, Breast the Owner's Manual, as well as a copy of the Cancer Survivor's Guide, co-authored by our amazing friend and colleague, Dr. Neil Barnard. And part of the reason for having the joint book giveaway is that it's all about Let's Beat Breast Cancer, my friends. Mm-hmm. Today is the Let's Beat Breast Cancer first Tuesday of our 3 consecutive Tuesdays, where we're going to just be deep diving into one of the 4 prongs in our 4-pronged approach to beating breast cancer, which, if you don't know this by now, is to eat a plant-based diet, exercise regularly, maintain ideal body weight, and minimize alcohol. Also, each week we're going to have a special guest. Today, I'm so excited that we are joined by Dr. Jill Jennings. Jill is a nurse by training, but she is a naturopathic doctor, a Food for Life instructor, and she has a very special story to tell about how she arrived at plant-based eating. And it wouldn't quite be October if she weren't an amazing thriver. Hey, Jill!
Hey guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
It's nice to see you.
So great to see you. I'm so excited that you're here. We can't wait to hear all about your story and just dive into the details with everyone about how plant-based eating can be so transformative. Super excited. All right, so, and last but not least, I want to let you guys know episode 19 of Cook Live will stream on November 19th. 19 on the 19th.
Oh,
I didn't even realize that. So we'll throw a QR code up on the screen, and if you want to RSVP in advance, please do so.
we're going to make some good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're going to
Pre-Thanksgiving.
I am actually finally, this has been going on for like 2 years straight. I bet for whatever reason, don't ask me why, every year I can't show you my famous turkey.
Yes.
So I'm finally able to show you my seitan turkey. I'm super duper excited about it because it is delicious.
And I get to show you my scalloped potatoes.
Right? Those have been they've been on the menu for ages.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's happening.
We're ready to rock Thanksgiving this year. So we're going to have seitan turkey, scalloped potatoes, and we haven't really figured out the rest of the menu, but it will be amazing.
Something kale-y.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Little light side. Okay. Shall we start with the drink, my friend?
Oh, I think we shall.
We have a tradition. We always start with a drink. And I put the ice in when you weren't looking.
Put it in the glasses.
So Chrissy, it was my birthday a couple weeks ago, and I haven't seen Chrissy since then. So she brought me the most amazing gifts. I will reveal the homemade one in a little bit because it's part of our cooking. But this is Ritual Tequila. I used to joke that tequila will kill you. Tequila. And this won't because it is 0 proof. As some of you may know, I have embarked on a full year. We'll see if it goes longer, but I promised the world and my sons and myself that I would go 1 full year with 0 alcohol. So we are into month 10 and all is well. And
so proud of you.
Thank you.
I was never a drinker. It makes me feel terrible. She knows that.
I drank for both of us, and now I haven't been drinking. So long story about that is posted on Instagram. If you want to know my top 7 reasons why I stopped drinking, I'm kind of proud of that post because it was very vulnerable, and people appreciated it. So love you guys right back. This is tequila alternative. This is amazing. Okay, I've tried every non-alcoholic everything under the sun, by the way, in my journey, and it's all, I had to like dump out bottles. The funny thing is I've come back around. The same bottles I used to dump completely out, I'm like, the Sauvignon Blanc ain't so bad. And I'm kind of liking it now. But this never disappointed from the moment I tried it. There's like a burn that goes down with this tequila that is oh so authentic.
You're right. It's the only one I've tried that has the burn, which is why I got it. I've had it before, but yes, it's so good. And I like Palomas, but I do the alcohol-free Palomas. And usually we'll put a little grapefruit, but we didn't have the wherewithal to get grapefruit before this, so.
I'm blaming you. I didn't know my birthday gift was going to require grapefruit.
I didn't know you were going to use your birthday gift today.
Okay, that's fair.
That's designated for
All right,
this.
so I'm just going to do a 1-for-1. Boop, alcohol and some very high in sugar, but why not? With company cocktails. So this here has water, lime juice, grapefruit juice, pure cane sugar, and grapefruit oil with a pinch of salt. So this should make a very delicious Paloma-like drink. So I put it in the shaker with just ice. That's all that's in there. We'll post this later. Obviously, it was a last-minute change in my drink plan. I'm oh so excited because these are delicious, and it was very thoughtful. All right.
Oh, let's do some lime.
Oh yeah, we got a fresh lime there. You can give it a cut
we
and
don't
a
have
squeeze.
grapefruit. But that is grapefruit flavored, so it'll still.
Yeah, I think that the whole point of that thing is that you don't need to add extra.
You don't. Oh, okay, cheers to your birthday.
Happy
you
birthday, me.
Woman.
Woohoo! Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Dr. Jill. I got ice cube in my mouth. Do you know that the #1 people break their teeth?
Is
it's by chewing ice cubes. Yes, I learned that from a dentist friend of mine.
I thought it'd be popcorn kernels, but
okay, it's ice. Okay. The first thing we're gonna make are my fluffy pancakes, and when the pancakes go on the burner, Jill, we're diving into your story. So, pancakes, cook mode on. 1.5 cups of flour. So we're gonna get this in. So flour. You know, Chrissy, let's talk about flour.
Yeah,
we've got enriched wheat flour, white flour. These are all incredibly refined. They remove the bran and the germs, so you got rid of all the fiber and you got rid of a lot of the nutrients. You don't ever really want white flour. So check your pasta aisle when you go to get spaghetti or noodles. You just don't ever want it to be enriched wheat flour. It sounds so like thank you. Go for it. Baking soda. So we're doing this is whole wheat flour.
Baking powder.
King Arthur. Yeah, but what I done. So the this particular flour was the King Arthur whole wheat. Whole wheat per 1/2 cup serving. You're going to have 200 calories, 8 grams of protein, 8 grams of fiber. Okay, so the whole wheat is like pulverized. So you still have the wheat and the germ. You get all the fiber, the wheat and the germ and the bran. So stay away from enriched. What are other options? What if you're like Chrissy? What if you're gluten sensitive or celiac?
Yeah.
Some extra awesome flours are going to be buckwheat. Again, same 200 calories per 1/2 cup. This time you're going to drop your protein from 8 grams to 4, but you're still going to get 6 grams of fiber, 2 grams of fat. The whole wheat, Zippo fat.
Yeah, it's also not interchangeable like with flour because buckwheat's very dense. So if you've ever made like whole 100% buckwheat pancakes, they're pretty dense.
They're dense. Do you need more fluid?
You need more, like probably baking soda, or honestly, I don't really make them a lot. I did it a couple times, and I was like, I'm good not having pancakes.
Okay.
So
you know what? We need a small
flour, actually.
bowl.
Here. Okay.
Can you just grab a little bowl from down there? And we forgot to do the flax with the.
The flax egg.
We need to make a flax egg and let it sit, and then we'll chat for a second.
Yep.
So I wanted to give you other options for flour. So we've got, so you want to stay away from enriched white flour, right? We've got the whole wheat flour, the buckwheat flour. Quinoa flour is also really excellent. So again, for half a cup, you have 200 calories. Protein bumps right back up to 8 full grams, 6 grams of fiber, 2 grams of fat. I'm emphasizing the fat in these three because the next two flours that people ask me about that I kind of never use are so high in fat that I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is my fat content for my life. So the first one that I don't ever use is coconut flour. It has about 210 calories per half cup. It has a ton of fiber, I gotta say, 25 grams of fiber, but hold on to it, 13 grams of fat that is pure saturated fat. So forget about it. The next one is almond flour. This one is so caloric. For the same half cup, it's 340 calories. And ready? 30 grams of fat.
I know.
Almond flour, 30 grams.
know.
However, in defense of the mighty almond, it's entirely polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, very healthy fats. You get out of the 30, 2 grams are saturated. So it's nothing like the coconut flour. It is so high in fat that I just don't use it. So I just love the three I said, the whole wheat, the buckwheat, and the quinoa. Quinoa, which may be new to you and sound weird, Bob's Red Mill makes it, organic.
You know, I actually haven't. The only pancakes I make are, like, it'll be a mix that I buy, you know, that it's natural, whatever.
Right.
Like,
and it has everything, all this part in it.
Yeah, and it has all that done already. That's what I found. Like, they have it down for the gluten-free.
Do you know what else Chrissy makes besides occasional pancakes? Ceramic bowls.
Yeah, I do.
This is her creation. It has a pour spout. Tell us about your pottery. She's like a pottery genius.
Oh gosh.
No, it is.
But I do
it's
love
like
making
beautiful
pottery.
stuff.
I decided to take on a hobby, and I'm not very artistic, but I thought maybe I could make pottery. So I took a class, and then I took another class, and it's very addicting. I would say if you don't have a lot of time on your hands, don't do it, because it's very addicting and you end up blowing off a lot of things you should be doing to make bowls. And that's like across the board. Everybody I was taking classes with are like, I don't see my kids anymore.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
But it's because you just want to like be able to make something. Then once you can make something after, like, for me it was a long time. It was like 6 months. You're like, all right, I can take a little break and, you know, come on in and do it when I feel like it. But it's until you like actually start making stuff, you just have to keep going and going and going until there's some success, I would say, right?
Right.
You're like that too. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then the people that had done pottery in 4th grade would come in and be like, whoop, and make a bowl. Like their second time there. You know. So another thing is, like, if you want your kids to be good at something later,
start it in
now.
4th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I kind of was talking so much that I didn't see what you did. Did you already put the salt in here?
I did put the salt in there.
Okay, did you put the sugar in there?
I did not.
Okay, so we're doing 2 tablespoons of granule. We're using monk fruit erythritol blend, so it's 0 calorie.
2 tablespoons, you said?
2 tablespoons. Okay. 1 tablespoon of Ceylon cinnamon, which has been in my hand for a long time.
Yeah, I thought you were doing it.
I didn't, because I just kept talking.
Do it. You're so chatty.
I know. Okay, so here comes the wet stuff. When you made my 3 tablespoons of ground flax, did you just dump water in here?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect, except that what I like to do is I mix the flax with aquafaba. Aquafaba, if you don't know, is simply the fluid around the garbanzo beans. So I ate all these beans for lunch, the whole can. How much fiber did I get today?
That.
Yeah, I do the whole can, so I just downed, let's see, this was, I can't see. I have my progressive contacts in.
3.5, so 18, about 20.
20 grams of fiber in my salad, which had a ton of fiber, also from everything else. Okay, so I'm just gonna wing it, and I'm gonna add a little aquafaba because I like the fluffiness it gives us. So normally it's half a cup, but then we have the water in here, and I just don't want to.
There's not that much water. You'll see.
It is pretty goopy.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. I love aquafaba in pancakes. You will see, they get so fluffy, and I promised you fluffy, and I promised no oil. Okay, so now I just need my spatula. Okay, that'll work. Yep. And so I'm putting in the flax. You know, there's nothing super magical when it comes to pancakes. You know how you're supposed to, like, sometimes I put this in the fridge to really make it gel up more like an egg. I find with the pancakes, I sometimes just throw it in dry and add the water. Like it's somebody's made that up that you've got to put it and make it gel. It's true. Okay, quarter and a cup of soy milk. My favorite. Everybody, talk. Do something.
Her favorite soy milk is from Trader Joe's.
Yes, here it is.
Soy and water.
In the pantry. I had some in the fridge, and it literally froze. It was a soy popsicle. The fridge is clearly too cold, so I have to get a new one. My favorite is because it's organic and there's 2 ingredients: organic soybeans and water. What could be better? Yes. All right, so we're doing a cup and a half. Is anybody cooking with us? Guys, you know who's joining us on Zoom? My au pair, our favorite au pair of all time, my daughter, who is currently in Spain teaching the good people of Spain how to speak German because she is from Poland. What? How many languages can you possibly speak, my love? So Jacqueline is up at 5 plus 8, 2, 3 in the morning. It's 3 in the morning. She's up just to watch me make pancakes.
Oh my goodness.
I know. So sweet.
That's very sweet.
My girl. Okay, we need to add a tablespoon of vanilla.
Okay.
And then we got the aquafaba and maybe or maybe not water, and then we're done. So we're gonna mix. And for some reason, can you hear Jill? I can't.
No.
Oh, I'm here.
No, when she talks.
Now I do.
See, she hears, I don't. When you, I don't know how to hear her, but you can hear her.
I can.
So that's,
Jill, do you make pancakes?
I do. Granola is my favorite. I make a homemade granola, but my kids love pancakes, so we do pancakes.
Do you do is your recipe similar?
So I am like Chrissy. I am gluten sensitive, so I make gluten-free pancakes. Not from scratch. So I'll buy a gluten-free mix and then just
That's what I do too, and I always add flax to it, right? If it doesn't have a lot of fiber, I'll add flax to it. I found with gluten-free, sometimes that's just better.
Oh, she's gluten sensitive.
Yeah, she's gluten sensitive, so she does the same thing that I do. Yeah.
I'm gonna add just a touch of
my
flour
top
because it's a little
so you always add flax
watery.
to it.
Yeah, that's right. Flax. You can never. Well, my husband would argue that you can go wrong with flax because I made banana bread when when the kids were little and he was little. I'd make this banana bread that they loved. It was their favorite thing, and so I started sneaking ingredients in, flax. And then I thought, well, if I put a little and they didn't notice, I'll put a little more, put a little more. And then finally, I was noticing that this brick of banana bread wasn't being touched by my family anymore. And they were kind of having secret conversations behind my back about how my banana bread was inedible. And then JD finally asked, he said, Kristi, I don't want to say anything, and I know you work hard, but I don't know what's happening with the banana bread. And I was like, ooh. And the boys were like, every time I eat it, I'm in the bathroom all day at school.
Oh, poor baby.
So yeah, that was so you can overdo flax.
All right, before we put these on the stove, I like to let the batter sit. I just have it sit for 5 minutes.
Okay.
It does something magical. And right now it's still too.
Because of the flax too.
Yeah, I think it needs a few minutes. So I'm going to just let it do that while we chat with Jill.
Yes.
And while this fork is going to fall in. And while we do that, I'm just going to start doing some random chopping. So that we're working and chopping and talking. And I'm going to have some more tequila.
Do you want me to start this? Should I start this yet?
No, because I want you to talk through it. Let's just chop. Okay, so Dr. Jill, please tell us your journey.
Yes. So I have worked in healthcare for 28 years now. Wanted to be a doctor my whole entire life. And I joke because I started working in the hospitals and watching, and I'm like, these doctors are miserable. It's the nurses who are doing everything. So I switched gears and went back to school, got my nursing degree. I worked as an ER nurse for 16 years. During that time, I became really sick, and I developed this long-term chronic disease that led me to disability. That's when I found natural medicine and diet and lifestyle, and it just opened my world to the impact that diet and lifestyle had on our overall health, and it healed me. And I said, this is crazy. This is the kind of medicine I want to do for the rest of my life. So I went back to school and got a 4-year doctorate degree in naturopathic medicine. Started a private practice, doing really fun, great things. And then COVID hit, so that killed my practice. I ended up back in the hospital, working frontline through COVID, ER, ICU, COVID tent, crazy madness. 2020 was not kind to us at all. Because COVID hit, I ended up getting COVID from working in the ICU with not enough PPE. In June of that year, my mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and then 4 months later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So to say that it was a rough year is a gross understatement. And it just rocked our world. Cancer was not in our family. I thought I was healthy, but I also learned during my cancer journey that I had so much more to learn. So when I was diagnosed with cancer, I immediately went whole food plant-based because I just inherently knew that's what I had to do to heal my body. And in the middle of my cancer journey is when I found Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine and just fell in love with the work that they do, discovered their Food for Life program and just dug really deep into the research on nutrition, in particular with cancer at that time. And it just blew my mind, and it really confirmed what I knew that I had to do for my body. So I love sharing this part of my story. So when I started treatment, they drew 29 tubes of blood. I wasn't quite sure if they were going to leave any to circulate, but they tested everything you can imagine. They tested all my vitamins, minerals, immune markers, inflammation markers, and I had plenty of things that were out of normal limits. I then proceeded to go through 16 months of the most toxic treatments a human body can go through. I had 12 rounds of chemotherapy. I had both my breast amputated. I had 25 rounds of radiation. I had 28 rounds of monoclonal antibody infusions. 16 months done and cured. They redrew all of those blood tests in over 100 blood markers. After all those toxic treatments, how many do you think were out of normal limits? Zero. Which is statistically impossible. But for me, that was confirmation that all the diet and lifestyle and natural things that I did during my journey was so powerful to protect and heal my body through all those crazy treatments. So I continued. So interestingly, October is a very bittersweet month for me, and a lot of emotions for sure because this past weekend. On October 5th, I held one of my Let's Beat Breast Cancer rallies here in Florida, and that was the day 4 years ago that I got the call that it was cancer. So it just is a reminder of how far I've come, how much I've learned, just now it's such a passion to teach other people what I have learned because I don't want another woman to go through what I went through, and we have such incredibly powerful knowledge now to teach women, not just on the reactive end of it, but we need to teach more on the proactive end, teaching prevention, which is
this was prevention queen. I'm sure you know that. So, and you've been. Obviously, you're an inspiration to everybody that has contact with you, given what you've been through and coming out the other side of it, and now teaching everybody what you've learned is obviously very generous, and I'm sure everybody appreciates it so much as we appreciate this one out there hitting the pavement all the time and just trying to get everybody to understand how much what we put in our bodies matters, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I always tell people that there's like the BCAC, the before cancer and after cancer, and nothing afterwards is ever quite the same. I mean, you value just every precious breath so much more, and the people around you, and you kind of feel this need to purify yourself too of both physical toxicities and emotional stressful ones, whether it's the job that needs to change or the friends that need to have had their time in your life and pass through now, but then to also make that transition into something that you know is so critical and permanent, and then to have the just the generosity of spirit and the conviction and the excitement that you have to share it with the world and hopefully transform others before they meet a catastrophic tipping point. Not every cancer diagnosis has to be truly catastrophic, but it usually does create such a jarring moment in your life that you don't want things to be the same. Like how they were before led to that moment created a cell environment within you that was conducive to making cancer. So you can't just like, oh, honey, do everything you're supposed to do the surgery, do the radiation, go back the way you were, which is the advice you got, right?
Yes, that's so true, and that's one of the things I have a lot of breast cancer or people call me and say, "Hey, you need to call Dr. Jill. Like, you need to." And I have so much to share that it's exactly that. You can't go back and do the things that you did before if you want to stay and live in a healthy lifestyle now.
And now more than ever, I think
that I do and teach, I had to learn the hard way. So I teach people from my own experience. I had no idea what tofu was. I had no how to cook it. I did, all of those things that new plant-based eaters go through. I had to go through that too.
Right. And now more than ever, I think there's so much misinformation out there on nutrition, and those people are very loud. So I think it's important that we are equally as loud, right?
Yeah.
Because there's just so much.
Shout it from the rooftops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got to win that shouting match.
Yeah, for sure. You know we're going to win.
All right. So let me see how my pancake batter is doing. It looks...
You want me to put this on?
I do. Thank you. You know, sometimes it takes a trick. Good to go right on? It likes you more than it likes me?
Yeah, it likes
me. Okay, good. All right, I just threw in a little bit more flour, guys, because it seemed too watery to me. We're going to head on over, and I have my Callaway nonstick pans, so we'll see how they do with pancakes. I already know how they do. They do really well. So this is truly oil-free. But look, Kristi and I were just talking before the top of the show.
Yeah,
and Dr. Jill, I would love to know what you think about this. We are not strict, die-hard, like there's no excessive oil. We always broth saute, for example.
Yeah, because you don't need it.
Doesn't add any zing, it's not important. Turns out, sometimes you think things are important, like oil and salt, and then when the first time you give it a whirl without it, you're like, don't even know it's not there.
You don't know.
I promise you won't know there's not oil in these pancakes, but I also promise you that if you don't invest in these nonstick pans yet, because it's always like time for a turnover, and then you go, you level up or you do some more research, whatever, PFAS and all that stuff that we could chat about. But if you need to do a spritz of some olive oil, expeller pressed canola oil, go for it on your pan, right? So Dr. Jill, tell me how you feel about a little spray of salt once in a while. Nothing. We're not talking excessive and constant.
We're saying salt, maybe a little olive oil in something that it's tough not to put it
How do you eat? Are you strict SOS free? Because I admire that. I kind of want.
I totally agree. And I think when you teach people how to cook without oils, we think we need them. You don't. And your taste change. And then you realize this is really oily. So I'm with you. I cook with water or broth. So if you need a little tiny spritz, that's okay sometimes. Yes.
Exactly.
But I people, it's not carbs are not the problem. Carbs have never been the problem. It's the fat that's the problem. So trying to teach people how to keep that low to no oils is really important, I think.
Awesome. I'm going to go back to the burner, and so we're going to switch cameras so that people can see what I'm doing. I'm going to bring my half cup with me.
And I'll set up my little Chia station.
Okay, so the pan is warm. I'm going to do a half cup for each pancake in here. We're going to do fruit toppings on this. Banana, raspberries, and strawberries with a little maple syrup. You can do a little spritz of cinnamon on top, but the option of mixing things in, I do a lot of frozen fruit, and then if you just heat up the frozen berries, it's like a compote, that's got all the juice and kind of mixes with a little maple syrup. So maybe you use less syrup if that's what you're hoping for, a little less of the sugar. There's not a lot of healthy sugar out there. I'm going to go with almost none. Blackstrap molasses and date sugar are really the only two sugar in that family of sweeteners with any nutritional substance. Everything else, even this organic Vermont maple that I'm going to use, it's so sad, but it's true. Honey.
Come on, throw us a bone.
I know. All of these sugars that you're going to use really don't have any nutritional value.
Ooh, the nonstick. I don't know. So far, so good.
So far, so good, and we're bubbling up.
We're not even trying to flip.
We're already bubbling.
Yeah, we're
bubbling. So I'm going to flip.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a few more bubbles.
Let it bubble in the middle.
And I can see a little crisp in the edge.
A little sticky mess.
All right. Do you want to
You want me to start?
start your chia pudding?
Yeah.
And I'll flip over here.
Chia time. All right, so chia pudding, easiest thing ever. If you make it like you're having people over and you know they're going to stay for breakfast, you can make this ahead of time, overnight. It also will be ready in about an hour if you just want to make it in the morning, you want to eat it later. But I love making it overnight because, you know, it's just done. If you're having 8 women stay over or 4, you know, like your little girls retreat, it's so nice to have this done. So I do a lot of that. That way breakfast is already done in the morning. You can make the fruit compote that I'm going to make that's going to go on top. You can do that ahead of time as well. So let me see. So the recipe is a double. I already made 1 serving, so I'm going to half this. So I'm going to do 1/8 of a cup or 1/2 of a quarter cup of chia. And then I'm going to do, I like soy milk, so I usually use soy milk. Sometimes I'll use almond milk, but most of the time I use soy. And of course you could use oat milk if that's your thing. And so this would be a 1/2 cup. And then a little tiny bit of maple syrup. And I'm not measuring, it's all measured out in the recipe. I don't measure anymore, I just kind of eyeball it. With this, you can definitely eyeball it because it's, as long as you don't put too much liquid to chia, because if you put too much liquid, it doesn't, you know, you end up with a lot of liquid, it doesn't kind of gel. And then a little cinnamon. And what am I forgetting? Oh, I have my little checkoff sheet. Let's see.
By the way, non-stick. Those pancakes flip fine.
Yay! All right. Yeah, I got it all. I added some. And then, so you're just going to mix it up. I usually have like a top on it. I'll give it a little shake and then put it in the fridge. And this is a nice little serving. Sometimes the recipe says 2 servings, but I usually eat 2 servings. So it's up to you. It's up to how much you want. So this is how it looks when you start. And then I put one in the fridge. What was that, like an hour ago, do you think?
Yeah, an hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour and a half ago. And this is what it looks like now.
So it's nice and thick.
It's nice and thick, ready to eat, really. Except for I don't have my fruit compote, so I'm about to do that. Let's get a little. Can I get a little like?
What do you need?
Ooh, those look good.
Don't they?
Yeah.
They
look really good.
So, and then we
So
can see
nice.
that my
Yeah, that looks awesome. All right.
my Callaway did me well. Nothing in the pan.
What about a little saucepan? Because it's going to make the cookie.
Yes, let me get you a saucepan.
The other thing is it's nice to make the fruit ahead of time because then you could put it in the refrigerator overnight. It's nice to have that. Yeah, you think I would know where all this is by now.
Do you need the lid?
Nope.
Okay.
All right, so this is the easiest thing ever, and it looks like you made a big effort when you're serving it to people. I'm just going to put these strawberries in here and then bring them over there. So actually, I'm going to throw them in here. So strawberries, cut up in a pot. And you could use blueberries, you can use raspberries, you can use whatever fruit you want. I often use blueberries, and I just put just a whole blueberry in there, whole blueberries. I'll use frozen blueberries because I love frozen blueberries because often they're so much sweeter than when it's out of blueberry season and you're trying to buy blueberries at the store. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this on heat with the tiniest bit of water, and you'll see what happens.
Okay, and meanwhile, I'm trying to make this like super cute, little stacked.
Now we got the cookie. Doesn't like me anymore.
Oh. Oh, you know the middle one? Is that what you're doing?
No, I was going to do this one, but it just...
Sometimes I...
Oh, did it. Okay. So this is just gonna, and sometimes, some strawberries are sweeter than others, so I don't put the, once it cooks down, I put the sweetener in after the fact, at the end, because sometimes strawberries are really sweet and it doesn't need any, and sometimes you want a little. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe my hands.
Look at my little
Jill, do you
stack.
like chia? Do you make chia pudding?
do. I love chia. I put chia in my smoothies or in my granola. Really good.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh my gosh, those look so good.
Isn't that cute?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got our little happy stack of pancakes here, and we'll put just a wee bit of syrup on
And they
top.
are fluffy. She did not lie.
They could be a little fluffier to be, I have made them fluffier, but sometimes, I don't know if you've ever had this problem, I make them so fluffy that they fluff and then the middle's still mushy and the edges are like done. I've actually slid them off of each other and had to make one pancake into two, and it's more like crepes.
Oh geez.
So this is perfection because it's perfectly crispy and
that's better.
oh so delicious, everyone. Look at my stack of pancakes for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Makes a fun snack too. And there's a lot, we talked about it, these are whole wheat, so this is gonna have lots of fiber, 8 grams of protein, 0 fat in none of it. This is 0 fat.
Yeah,
fat free.
amazing. And actually, I keep talking about for breakfast and overnight, whatever, but you can make this in the morning and have it for dinner. Since we're doing breakfast for dinner, and I've been known to have this for dinner many times, I'm gonna be honest.
And I was at her birthday sleepover, and I can attest to the fact that she opened the fridge and she had 15 jars of chia pudding, and it is so delicious, and I can't wait to eat it right now.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's put these both in there. One thing I would say though, if you have the time to stir it a couple times while it's in the fridge, you won't have them all stuck to the bottom. Not a absolute necessity, but makes it a little better.
Cool.
More? Yeah. All right. So, and you can always add like stevia or something, not maple syrup to this. It's up to you. And there's so little. There's very little maple syrup in here. Okay. So this is
all right.
Do their thing here. Let me check on my strawberries.
Check on those. Let us know if I can start my. So my Avo toast, I'm obsessed with. Truly, I think everyone would agree this is the most versatile of our breakfasts for lunch and dinner.
I know. Yes.
Avo toast kind of it's sort of heartier, and it doesn't have the sweetness pancake thing that just automatically thinks.
And everybody knows Avo toast now. I think it's we're not reinventing the wheel. However, we are in that there's a couple things that you might not normally put on your avocado toast, which is going to be on ours today. So
yes,
that's the idea. A lot of people wait till they go to a restaurant to get some awesome sprouts on there or some miso. Why not just do it at home?
Yeah.
Save the money. Save the $16 it is for avocado toast.
I know, it's absurd. So you would think that this came from a bakery because it has this bakery packaging. No, this is Chrissy Roth's homemade sourdough bread for my birthday. I had bought sourdough bread for this taping because I know Chrissy's gluten sensitive, so I want her to try the Avo toast, and then lo and behold, she brought her own. So now, but I just learned that sourdough actually does have some.
Way to go!
I'm very
late
to
to the
sourdough
haven't
party.
mastered yet, but it's a big thing. Everybody's making it now. It's amazing.
And I decided I'm going to try to make a starter, and I had some rye flour, and then I made one, and then I started. And I have the mother. Everybody knows this by now. It was the whole COVID thing, which I didn't do it over.
No, I actually was.
Because everybody was talking about how they couldn't find flour and stuff. I'm I can't have that stress. No.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Can you teach us? How do you find starter? How do you make a sourdough starter? How long does it take before you can use the starter?
It takes 8 days.
Because don't people hand it down in families? And this starter is 400 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yours is 8 days old.
No,
bread.
No, I've been doing this for 3 months. So it's 3 months old. But it's not, unfortunately at this point. But it is getting better and better as it goes.
Okay.
Can I show these strawberries because they're kind of done?
Yep. Go for it.
So, right here. There they are. And you can smush them with a fork and make it very compote-y. Or I like to keep them just a little whole. And you could do them raw, but this is more it's jammy and it's sweet and it kind of pours on the top, and then you can kind of push it through. And then I didn't put on the recipe, and I always put walnuts in it. Always. I put walnuts in everything because I'm obsessed with walnuts. So.
Okay, well, I'm glad you didn't if we're going to give that one to Ethan because his throat would close up.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad I didn't do walnuts.
That's why you didn't do it.
You
knew.
Trying to kill her child. I am not.
Okay, so I may have made this super thick, but this is thick.
Serious
this knife was not.
This is restaurant.
This is if you pay $20 for your avocado toast, it better be this thick. This is so moist and delicious. So if you want to throw that in,
I will.
We're just going to put it in the toaster, air fryer toaster, because that piece is so big it's not going to fit in the actual toaster.
It is not.
And then, this is so easy, but some of my favorite things. So I'm obsessed with getting things into your body whenever possible throughout the day that you might not otherwise get in. And usually I use my smoothie for that. But I don't have the smoothie every single day. So for example, on this avo toast that I would have put in the smoothie, I'm going to add turmeric and pepper, and the avo is going to be my fat, right? So turmeric is incredibly anti-inflammatory. It's come to... Yes, you second that?
Yeah. Turmeric is my number one herb. It's fantastic.
Tell me, you know what? Wax on about turmeric for us. What do you love about it? Why is it number one?
So amazing for the immune system. It's great for so many things, but it's my number one top herb for immune system. So put it in your food, take it as a supplement, put it in your smoothies and your juices. It's amazing.
It's very anti-inflammatory to the point where people with inflammatory bowel syndrome, if you have Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, anything that ends in itis, if you take you want to get an eighth to a quarter, I get a quarter teaspoon every day without fail. Mm-hmm. You always want it with a generous pinch of pepper, because the piperine and pepper makes it up to 2,000% more bioavailable, and it's fat soluble, so it hates water, so whatever you're consuming it with, it needs that fat to get absorbed. And so this avo toast will be a perfect thing, because we've got 22 grams of fat in a medium avocado.
And if you make a smoothie, always throw this in a little black pepper and you'll get used to the taste if you're not, right, Jill? It's just so good in there, and it's like a no-brainer. You just throw it in, and if you have flax in there, you have the fat, so you're good.
Jill, do you have any avocado thoughts for us? Well, I scoop this up. I'm gonna get a bowl.
I love avocado. There's a store down here in Florida, a farm stand store that has amazing guacamole. But with the fats, I instruct to kind of keep it low and no fat. So don't go overboard. We need fats, but we don't need as much as most Americans think.
Very true. This I'm excited to show is a perfect avocado. It's like out of a movie set, because the last 5 I've opened went straight into the trash. There's like an avocado catastrophe happening in California right now. 95% of the avocados that are eaten in America are Hass avocados. So in case you were wondering, Rudolf Hass was a mailman, and he planted the first avocado tree for Hass, named after himself, in 1926 in La Habra, California. So there's a fun fact. 80% of all the world's avocados eaten are, in fact, Hass. So this is the most common brand, but they were not doing me any favors. So today, I was scared of Hass, because those are the ones I keep throwing away. So I got Calava, and I feel really good about supporting the little guy, since Hass has a monopoly on everything.
Mr. Calavo?
Yeah, Mr. Calavo, I'm supporting you today.
Thank you, Mr. Calavo, for our beautiful avocado.
I know. So it actually is kind of a problem. So we get all our avocados mostly in America, and specifically in California, from Mexico. And I watched a documentary with Andy that had me really disturbed, because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. They shipped like 1.7 billion in 2022 just to the United States in avocados. So it's a big deforestation problem. They're knocking down all the trees and only planting Hass. And then the other really, really big problem, that was the disturbing part, that was truly disturbing, was that these poor truck drivers who drive the avocado, because there's so much money in it, it's got the eye of all the drug cartels.
Oh, great.
So there's a lot of like the stuff that drug cartel movies are made of happening about avocados. So it's kind of something that, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Not eat avocados, maybe. However.
You feel like that about so many things now. It's like, don't deep dive, people.
I know. It was better before I knew.
I know.
But I got Calavo today, so I'm not supporting the Hass cartel. I am just taking this delicious avocado and scooping it. Make sure you scoop your avocado all the way so that it's naked at the skin. Someone who shall not be named who's in this room will just kind of scoop a little bit and leave like a thick rim and then throw it in the green barrel. And I have become my mother.
Do that.
Turns his head. I don't know who he is. It is it that left it, and I'll go back, I'll pull it out of the trash and be like, I'm gonna get the other half of the avocado out of here. Anyway, all the polyphenol, all the magic, not all of it, but
it's close to the skin.
It's close to the skin.
I know, why is that? Onions too.
Yeah.
It's like we peel onions down to like, that inner layer, and all the magic's on the outside, right?
I know. Well, you're better at that than I am. I actually do end up peeling a little layer of onion away. I feel like I get that leathery bit. Okay.
Yeah, no, I know. I try not to, but I do because it doesn't taste good.
So what I'm going to put in
also
here.
need to be palatable, right?
Could you do me a huge favor and pull up the recipe for me?
Yes.
I'm going to just dry off.
Oh. Okay. There we go.
Okay. So we've got medium avocado. We're toasting our toast. I'm going to do a half teaspoon of lemon or lime juice. So I have this lemon juice. It's organic Trader Joe's lemon juice. If you don't know this one, it says 100% Sicilian. I'm not sure if those lemons are fancier, but feels fancy. It's all in cursive.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Wait, there's plates right there in the second drawer.
I'm like bragging.
I know. Well, you should be bragging. This is literally her toast. Okay, so
I've been working hard on it. And it's part whole wheat, just saying. It's not all whole wheat, but it's part whole wheat.
Okay, so I've got my half teaspoon.
I'm sorry, what did you ask me to get?
A flat plate. We're just gonna, second drawer under the stove, the first drawer under the stove, right there. Okay, so then we're gonna, I'm gonna add a little lemon juice and a little garlic powder, and this is where I do my pinch. So I'm going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon of my turmeric, and we're going to crack the pepper on top, so I don't need it there. And my garlic powder. No, that's cinnamon. Did we grab garlic powder?
I did. It's right here.
Ah, thank you.
And pepper.
The pepper's in the big mill.
Got it. Oh yeah.
We'll crack it on top. Yep. How much? Half?
Fancy.
And a little half teaspoon. I like these.
Would you like some pepper in your avocado?
I would, please.
Okay. Say when.
That's good.
Okay.
And then I'll crack a little more on top for decoration. Okay, so then we've got extra garlic powder. I put too much. Okay, it was a quarter and I put a half, and you're gonna love that. She hates garlic.
I don't like garlic. I like garlic, it hates me, that's the problem.
Okay, so I'm mashing this up, and I'm gonna leave some chunks just because it makes it more decorative. It really looks like it's gonna be creamy delish.
Yeah.
And then, wait till you see how beautiful, this is really going to be right out of a restaurant the way it looks. So what we're going to spread on the bottom of this avocado, sometimes I do hummus. Today I'm going to do miso. And miso, if you don't know, is fermented soy. So it goes along with tempeh, natto, and tamari, right? These are our fermented soys. They're more digestible. They can aid in changing the microbiome to make other future soy consumption, like from soy milk and tofu, more digestible. And it's just an amazing probiotic that's going to make your gut happy. So I'm going to spread today a little miso. Here it is. So I'm just using this this miso, and we're going to spread it.
Dr. Chrissy, I would love to know how we are doing on your end with breaking the myth that soy is bad for us.
Breaking the myth that soy is bad. I know we're cutting out a little bit. So how are you doing on your end with breaking the myth that soy is bad?
Oh,
I know you're trying.
I know. I think I make a huge dent.
She said, are people eating soy and as advised now?
You know what makes me sad is people are easily persuaded back to no soy just by hearing it once, especially my sweet cancer thrivers, because they just feel like it's so critical that they're doing quote unquote the right thing. So this is Yeah, it's an ever-present thing. I'll get DM'd on Instagram with somebody showing me a video of somebody saying this soy is bad, and doctor, what do you think?
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, well, I think the same thing because it's not really my opinion, it's fact. Okay, you know, I've done the research and the research doesn't change. So I'm gonna, oh yes, if you could slice that guy up, that'd be beautiful. So now I'm gonna spread the avo, spread the love on these 2 pieces of toast. So I did a nice thin layer of the miso. Now it can be fairly salty. Red miso is saltier than white. Red, the difference between white and red is aged a little longer, and it needs more salt to then preserve it. So red has more sodium content. And yeah, so we'll just spread those cukes over there. Wait till you see how pretty this becomes with all these different colored tomatoes. We're gonna get those going on. Then we're gonna sprinkle raw onion. Dr. Jill, why don't you tell us about allium, the allium family, and how important those are?
Yes, the allium family, onions and garlic. Allium is so fantastic for the immune system. So, you know, the Italians had it right. Load it up on everything that you eat. So anything with allium is so good. That looks so amazing, you guys. I just want to be in your kitchen with you right now.
Yeah, I wish I could eat more allium.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so we've got the cukes everywhere. We've got our colored
It's so pretty.
tomatoes. Yeah,
Avocado toast.
it really is. And
This one won't fit. Oh.
okay, so Obsessed, the farmer's market. We've got a couple within earshot of us, and so these microgreens and sprouts. Oh goodness, these are incredible. I love that they wrote "grown intentionally as plant medicine."
Yeah, on the label.
I know.
It's great.
This is from Creation Family Farms, and my friend Christina introduced me to these. And can you read all that?
Yeah.
It has some random mixture.
It may contain broccoli, kale, cabbage, sunflower, pea, radish, arugula, mustard, cilantro, alfalfa, clover, garbanzo, mung, fava, adzuki, garlic, leek, or onion sprouts.
Yep. So I'm just going to give it a whole smattering of all sorts of these amazing
Now, if you got
sprouts.
this at a restaurant, how happy would you be?
And how much would you have spent?
Oh, you would have spent like that?
Yep.
That's 2 servings. $30.
I'm just going to put a little arugula on the very top, and then some.
You gotta go like this.
More allium.
Do this.
Green onion.
Boom.
Mic drop.
There we go.
Onion drop.
Sprout drop.
And a little bit of cracked pepper all across the top.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
please.
then, again, it's a cheat. Close your eyes if you're 100% SOS, but just a few little droplets here of some kosher sea salt, just like thicker. Sometimes you just get one little crystal in your mouth, especially when you don't need a lot of salt. Like you taste
Well, there's
that.
a lot of miso on that too, so you can
That's
go
true.
light.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let me get my chia.
There it is. Avo toast extraordinaire.
Okay, this one has.
Thank you.
This one has not been in long, so I'll leave this one in there a little longer. But I'll show you. So
The compote.
I gave the strawberries a little taste, and they're so sweet. They really don't need. Except what I do with them.
They're on the stove.
Oh no, I put them in the fridge. Sorry.
Oh.
I was cloning them off. So this is what it's going to look like, and I'm only going to put a little on here, mostly because it's still a little hot, and you want it to be cold. So, but you can see, you put the strawberries, and you can kind of push them
Oh,
down.
I have mint.
Ooh, nice. That's going to look good.
I was telling Kristi I'm obsessed with making these big salads for lunch every day.
Yeah.
And I have like a million bags of herbs, everything, like Italian parsley, normal parsley, mint, dill.
So good. All right, so now you see, you have this beautiful little, and if you had some blueberries, you sneak those down. You can layer. You can put it in another cup, scoop it out, put some chia pudding, put a little fruit compote, a little more chia, a little more fruit, and you can make them look very beautiful and very palatable. I can't wait to eat it now.
I know.
I can't wait to eat everything now.
So delicious.
All right, well, too bad we have to go.
I know. All right. Well, Dr. Jennings, Do we have any more of, how do we get in touch with you? How do we come to a Food for Life class? Like, tell us.
And can you tell us a little about Food for Life?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like how you became an instructor and what it is.
Yep. Food for Life is the cooking and nutrition program sponsored by Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. It's an incredible program. You can find information on pcrm.org about the Food for Life program. I can be found at drjilljennings.com. My book about my cancer journey is also on my website. You can find that there. And all of my socials at Dr. Jill Jennings.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for being with us and for thriving and sharing and being awesome.
Thank you so much for having me, and keep screaming it from the mountaintops.
We will. We're gonna win the shouting match between the plants and the animals.
Yes.
So everybody, don't forget this month in particular, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We have breasts all year long, so I want you to understand how best to take care of your girls, and I do that in so many different ways. But right now, I want you to remember that if you have not yet joined the Let's Beat Breastcancer.org campaign, please go there right now. letsbeatbreastcancer.org. Sign up for free. We will immediately send you a free e-cookbook and a free starter guide. The starter guide has all of the why-to and the how-to tips and tricks to follow the four-pronged approach to beating breast cancer, which again is to eat a whole food plant-based diet, to exercise regularly to maintain ideal body weight, and to have tequila mocktails instead of the real deal, because tequila will kill you.
And check your stress, right?
And check your stress.
Keep your stress.
Keep your stress. Keep your psychosocial support network close and engaged.
Yeah.
Make sure you sleep well.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a little look-see in your immediate environment for toxicities you can remove from your life. And by that, I don't mean the people, although they need to go too. I am actually talking about the phthalates in cosmetics. We talked about pans briefly. We didn't get into the nitty-gritty. There was just a study released 2 weeks ago. You may have seen it. 76 different chemicals that all potentially increase breast cancer risk have been found in common materials, largely plastics, right? So you want to minimize plastics. Never, ever, ever microwave in plastic. I can't believe somebody told me the other day in the OR that her husband, he'll want to soften up butter and put it in the container in the microwave. And then I'm like, ah! Okay.
No.
So anyway, lots of ways to take care of your health. Let's Beat Breastcancer.org. So excited and proud to be a part of this campaign, and so grateful that Dr. Jill Jennings was able to be our Thriver sister today and share your story with us. Cheers to you, my friends.
Cheers.
And cheers to everyone out there.
Cheers.
Have a great week. Don't forget QR code for the 19th episode on November 19th, all about Thanksgiving. And next week, 7 days from now, I will be here with another Thriver, and we'll be talking about Get Bustin' a Move, and we'll be doing Taco Tuesday, so don't miss it. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye, Jill.
Bye, Jill. She has a great
Bye,
smile.
guys.
Your smile is infectious, Jill.
It really is so beautiful.